Hello. Good morning, children. Now you know very well that from 18th March you are going to have your annual exams. So I'll be revising all the chapters and we will be discussing question paper even. Right? So let us revise the chapters first. First chapter which is going to come for the exam is Expert Detective. Right? Expert Detective is a story of Nishad Maya. Right? And they were having one neighbor, his name is Mr. Nath. Now Nishad and Maya both were in summer holidays, right? So school closes and it was a summer holiday. Now they don't have any work. So they thought of becoming James Bond. So they started investigating the things. And now thing is that Maya feels that Mr. Nishad is a crook. Why she feels that? There is a certain reason for that. Thing is that she noticed this man never goes out for work, right? And he always eat 2-time meals, right? And he pays bill also and he give the tips even, which is not possible. See, if you don't go for work, you are not going to pay the bills. It is not easy, right? So thing is that it was happening in that way that from long time he is getting 2-time meals and he pay well and he is not going for job. So Maya feels that it is not possible to continue like that, and he always have one visitor every Sunday, same visitor. So these points were like she was able to conclude that he is a crook. But whereas Nishad feel that this man must have met an accident and his family is no more, he don't have any friends and he's having a lot of scars on his face, and for that he is getting a treatment from their mother. Mr. Nath is a patient of Maya's and Nishad's mother and he is getting treatment of those scars which are burn scars. So what Nishad said that it's not like that, because Maya added a line that maybe Mr. Nath was caught by police and because of his house was set on fire, so because of that only these scars are of accident and fire, burn scars. Whereas Nishad feel that no, maybe an accident, family died in that, he has no friend, he has no relative, he need friend and he is just an innocent man. But what happened in the end, the chapter end with this note only that both are arguing whether Mr. Nath is a crook or innocent. See, thing is that we should not decide with by the parents. Maybe there is a story. If you really want to find out something, you should go in detail. First, if you decide he is a crook and you try to investigate, that is not the way to do it, right? So this is what Nishad was telling, that this is not the way. And but Maya says that if he is not crook, then what is the point investigating? So chapter ends with a note that both are arguing and both didn't decide what happened. Nobody knows what is it, whether Mr. Nath is an innocent person or crook. Okay, that is the first chapter which will come for the exam, that is Expert Detective. Second one is the invention of Vita Wonk. You must have seen a movie, Chocolate Factory. A story of same thing, same movie only. In this what happened, there is one scientist, Mr. Willy Wonka. First he made a medicine called Wonka Vita to make people young. See, everybody wants to become young in nowadays, right? Everybody wants to be young. If I am 50, I want to become 18. Like that, everybody want to become like that, right? So what he thought, he thought that, oh wow, so demanding thing. So he thought, okay, let me make one medicine to make people young. So what he did, he collected lot of things and made one medicine and gave it to volunteer. Volunteer is the person who is ready to accept the new experiments willingly, right? Not by force, willingly. So he thought, okay, let it be. So as he swallowed 2-3 drops of that medicine, what happened? His age became minus 87. That means after 87 years only he will be born. See, this is just an imagination. Don't try anything new, right? Just an imagination. Nobody can minus 1 minute or 1 second also of your life. Nobody can add anything to your life, right? Just an imagination, right? So what happened? He became minus 87. Now Mr. Willy Wonka was really confused. He was thinking what to do, how to solve this problem. So he thought of making a new medicine called Vita Wonk. Now he want to make people old because he already minus 87, so now he want to give the age to the people. So he called his volunteer, his name is Charlie, and asked him, see, what is the oldest thing? He said, trees. So they started traveling and started collecting the old thing. First what they collected was pint of sap from 4,000-year-old Bristol cone pine tree. Then toenail clipping of old Russian farmer, his age was 168 years, and tail of 51 years old horse. See, these things are not possible, but okay, imagination is there, and many more things they added. They grinded, they diluted, and one black liquid was ready, which was given to a volunteer. And he was only 20 and his age became 75. So that means his experiment was, yes, he did it, he made it. But just a story, after listening the story, you just have to revise the answers and you have to read the chapter. You don't try any medicine. Don't do one thing, go home and take a little milk and then something else and here there masala and make one medicine and swallow it. Nothing will happen, only you will vomit. That much only. So nobody can change age, right? Okay. Now third chapter which is going to come for your exam is fire, friend and foe. Right? That chapter will come. Everybody knows what is fire. Fire is not a new word for you, right? We know what is fire, but early man they were scared of fire. And you know that in many places fire is worshipped as a god. Definitely. Without fire you cannot cook food. That is the main thing. How you are going to eat it raw? No, it is not possible. You need fire. So whatever is related for the essential need, we used to pray, right? Okay. So early man was scared that what fire is. Now we know that it is a it is a chemical reaction, right? Oxygen, hydrogen, carbon combines and it has to reach to a particular point. That point is called flash point and fire takes place. We need certain things to start a fire, that is oxygen, fuel and a temperature where it can start. If matchstick is in one side and petrol is another side, paper is lying in another side, it will not catch fire itself. All these things has to reach to one particular point, then only fire will take place. There are certain ideas even to control it. See, if you don't know how to control, see, fire is a very good servant but very bad master. Once it gets out of control, only destruction will be there. Nothing will be left except ashes. So you should know how to control it. First thing, how to control fire. Usually people, olden days what happened, they will make a human chain. They will just pick the bucket and they will fill it from well and pass it and it will reach there, right? First thing is we can put water on fire. We can just put a blanket to cut the supply of oxygen. We can cut the supply of fuel even, right? But don't try all this on the fire which took place because of electricity or oil. See, if switchboard got fire or some short circuit is there, if you put water, what will happen? You will be there only permanently, you will die there, right? For such cases, we have fire extinguisher. That carbon dioxide is there. You must have seen a red sort of cylinder everywhere in all the schools are there. You go to hospital, you can find there, malls it is there, everywhere you can find. In that cylinder there is carbon dioxide and if you spray, it is a fire extinguisher, fire will stop. Same thing we have to do with the fire which is on oil surface. But big thing is that if you put water, what will happen? It will float. Once it starts floating, it will spread. So fire extinguisher is required to control that fire also. And see, old days we will used to have human chain to control the fire, but now it is not like that. We have a well-trained team, that is a team of fire brigade. They know first aid, they can climb high buildings, they can control. So only thing which you have to learn from this chapter is use these natural gifts in a proper way. Don't play with fire, right? It can cause huge destruction. I hope chapter is clear to you. Next is a bicycle in a good repair. right? It's a story of two friends, right? One is telling the chapter, is the author, another is a good friend, right? So in this chapter what happened, both friends, okay, decided, okay, next day morning we can go for a bicycle ride and we can enjoy. Another friend already reached half an hour before to author's house, right? And he said that, okay, a nice cycle. Then he said that, but I feel that his front wheel wobble. Wobble means shaking. Its front wheel is shaking. Author said, nothing is wrong with this cycle. It is in a very good condition. He said, no, you don't know, it is so dangerous. Let me fix it. You just get a hammer from the tool shed. By the time author went to tool shed to get the hammer, he had removed that wheel from there and all the ball bearings were on the road, right? And he said that I will fix it. But you do one thing, you just take care of these ball bearings. Once the ball bearings are missing, you cannot fix that wheel. You must be knowing what are ball bearings. Small iron balls are called ball bearings. And he gave the idea you can keep them in hat. So giving the instructions also how to take care of things, right? Then he said that, oh, I think something is missing. He told that, do one thing, let me take out this gearbox. Then he was told by author that no, don't touch gearbox, because I have heard that if somebody touch the gearbox and you cannot fix it again, better to sell that machine because it will cost a lot and you cannot repair it. But then what happened? Friend was overconfident. He said, no, nothing like that. Gearbox, within 2 minutes I can just repair it. And within 5 minutes he made it into 2 pieces. Up to here also he was not happy. Then what he did, he made that chain very tight and then made it very loose, right? After doing all that also, he was like tired, and then he thought of refixing it. When he was refixing it, he kept the cycle here and he was down and he was fixing it from down. Twice, thrice cycle slipped on him. He got enough cuts on his face. He was bleeding also. Then author was thinking, who got enough? Friend got enough punishment or cycle got enough punishment? But thing is that both got enough punishment. Then author took him to kitchen shed and said, okay, you just wash your things and you better go home. The moral of the story, or the bottom line of the story is, you should not allow anyone to spoil your things. Okay, these are your things, right? Whether it is your scooter, cycle or any equipment. See, parents are paying enough for all this. You don't allow anyone to spoil or play with them. You can just share it, but don't ask them to, okay, you take out the chain, you take out the gearbox, and what happened? Everything finished. Now they cannot refix it again. Their trip also cancelled. So whole thing went in a bad condition. Okay, fine. Now last is the story of cricket. Last chapter. I think most of you are playing this game right now. If you are not playing any outdoor game, you better start playing. Don't play full time PUBG. Anyway, PUBG is banned. So many other video games have started. Don't do all that. It will affect your mental health, your eyes, everything, right? Just simply sitting and just doing all this, it's not good. Take a ball, go out and play. Outdoor games are much better. So today we are going to talk about the most popular game. 120 countries plays this game, right? So let us start. This is not an Indian game. This started in England 500 years back, right? And there are certain peculiarities, means particular point about this. First is test match. It can continue for 5 days, right? Any other match, football match or any other basketball match, there is a set bout or set time, like for boxing on 40 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes, half an hour, 1.5 hours. But here it is not like that. It can continue for 5 days and may end with the result draw. Neither team A will win nor team B will win. Like that thing is also possible. Second is the length of a pitch is 22 yards. That is fixed. But the size and the shape of the ground is not fixed. Right? Size and shape of the ground is not fixed. But the length of the pitch is fixed. Like in all other game, the boundary, everything is fixed. But only in this game it is not fixed. Right? Then rules of these games were made in 1744. An umpire got the whole authority to decide out, in, no ball, double, what do you call it, whatever things, all the things were given by umpire. Whatever the umpire decide, it will be a last decision. Then the height of stumps are 22 inches and the bail across it is 6 inches. Bats were made up of leather and the weight of the ball is 5 to 6 ounce, right? And then what happened, first Indian community which started playing this game was Parsis. They were the first one who came in the touch with British people and learned this game from them and started playing this game. In the beginning they really struggle a lot for a ground to play, but now you see 120 countries are playing this and all these cricketers are well paid. It's not like that they are not well paid, they are highly paid people, right? And now first test match was played between England and Australia, and India played its first match in 1932 against England, and C.K. Naidu was our captain, right? And this game got huge publicity only because of television. A match played in a Sydney can be watched in Calicut, right? You don't have to buy a ticket, air ticket and then stand there and then watch the match. No need like that. Because of television, it is broadcast everywhere, and you can, sitting in a small town also, you can see your heroes playing all that, and you can learn the techniques. Because of television, it got a huge popularity and it becomes a very popular game. So these are the chapters which are going to come for your exam, that is annual exam, from the main textbook. Now we are going to discuss the question paper even, right? You know very well, unless until we will discuss the question paper, it is somewhat difficult for you to understand, okay? So now we will be discussing few questions which are important for your exam. First thing is unseen passage. Unseen passage is comprehension passage will come, right? Comprehension passage will be there, and then question answers are there. See, one more thing, garden snake. You remember garden snake? Mama says that it's a harmless garden snake. That is also going to come, right? Poet is standing and poet saw the snake and he was scared of it. And mother says, no, you don't have to be scared. It's just a garden snake. That is also going to come, right? So what is what is the good about garden snake? Can you tell me? What is good about garden snake? It is harmless. It won't harm you. Who said? Mama said it is harmless garden snake, right? That is the main moral of the 4 lines. Only 4 lines are there, 4 or 5 lines are there. Next comes. Another is Meadow Surprises. When you have a time, you can stand somewhere near the trees and watch them. You can watch a butterfly sitting on a buttercup, right? Sipping a nectar with its straw, right? So it is talking about the grass. It is very smooth, velvet grass. Why it is called a velvet grass? Because grass is very smooth. Second. Third which is going to come is dad, cat and the tree. Usually in house, dad have enough confidence, right? They always says, I'll manage everything. If anything goes wrong, dads are always there, they are ready. Yes, I will manage everything. So in this also, cat was stuck on a tree and dad said, okay, just leave it to me. I will manage. You don't worry. He had 3-4 plans. First plan was, he just kept the ladder and ladder slipped. He also on the ground, landed on the flower bed. Second plan was, he jumped from one branch to another and branch broke and he fell down again. Third, he went to garden wall and jumped from there, and now he was stuck. Cat came down. So the main important question in this, who took the responsibility of the cat? Dad. Why? Because he thinks that he has a skill. He can do it. He can manage all that. But he was wrong. Now supplementary reader is also there. In that the chapter is a tiger in the house. Hope you remember the story. A tiger in a house, grandfather got a tiger, small tiger. He got it at home. And but what happened, he was given milk and cod liver and mutton and chicken, but later on, see, tiger is tiger, he was getting dangerous. So what they decided to leave him in the zoo, and grandfather left him in the zoo, which was in Lucknow. So after 6 months, grandfather got a chance to visit there. He visited there, and he directly went to the same cage where he kept his tiger. His name was Timurti, and started patting him. His hands were in the cage, and he started patting him like this. Immediately one zookeeper came and said that, what you are doing? He said, he's my tiger, I am talking to him. He said, you carry on, no problem. Then another zookeeper came who knows that, right, when this grandfather had given this tiger in the zoo, he came, and then grandfather was having trouble with the leopard which was in the next cage. It was irritating this Timothy. So he said that, see, this is my tiger, I gave it to you. Why can't you ship this leopard from there? Zookeeper said, sir, he is not your tiger. He said, yes, I know, I donated. He took it in that ways. But then zookeeper said that, no, your tiger died 2 months back. This is another wild tiger, we got it from the forest recently, and he is very dangerous. Now grandfather realized that his hands are inside and he is licking, and he is getting a smell of his blood, bones. So he was scared. The main important question is that, what shocked grandfather in the end? The news of Timothy's death and the tiger who was licking his hand was not Timothy, shocked grandfather in the end. Okay, this is the main important question of this chapter. Then comes another is alien hand. Alien hand, you remember? A story took place in Mars, not on Earth. Tillu is staying with father, mother and full team in Mars, and they are trying to do some experiments, right? And then what happened, after some time, some spaceships comes from Earth to get the sample of the soil, whether there is a life on Mars or not, right? This was the story, and Tillu really wants to run on the surface, and he wants to see the sun, he wants to see the moon, he wants to see the birds, but he was not able to. When you are on the Earth, you enjoy all this. Mars, you will not get all that. So the main question which will come from that chapter is, what do you think the mechanical hand was trying to do? Mechanical hand was trying to get the sample of the soil from the planet. For what? They just want to know whether there is a life in Mars or not, right? Then next comes important question. Do you really feel the popularity which this game, cricket game, is having is because of television? That just now I had explained. Wherever you are, you can sit in one corner and you can watch the match, and you can easily, you don't have to pay any tickets, and you can watch. Yes, you can say yes, and you can write few lines about that. And then previous chapter which we did, does the front wheel really bobble? No, not at all. Then what happened? Friend was having overconfidence, because of that everything went wrong. Then what are the ways to start the fire? Fuel is required, temperature is required, oxygen is required. What are the ways to control the fire? Cut the supply of oxygen. Then what? Cut the supply of fuel, use blanket, fire extinguisher, right? All these things can be used. Then how this Vita Wonka was produced? Few things were added: Bristol cone pine, pint sap of Bristol cone pine, 4000 years old, then toenail clipping of 168 years, Russian farmer, then tail of a horse of 51 age, and many more things were added and grinded and made a liquid, and it was ready. Then from that expert detective, the main, see, if you see the videos, you will get the summaries of all the questions are based on the center idea of the chapter. Do you really think that Mr. Nath was a crook? Give your opinion. You should know the story. Mr. Nath was a crook or not, we don't even know till now, right? But Maya feels that he is a crook because he get food, 2-time food without paying any money. And Nishad feels that no, it's not like that. Maybe he don't have his family, friend. He is suffering. He is all alone. He needs a friend. So he tried to do the friendship with him. Okay, so do you really think Mr. Nath was a crook? The answer is depending upon you. You can decide if you have a such neighbor, right? What you feel. See, you don't have to just copy paste all the answers from the book. You don't have to do. You can use your brain even. What Nishad and Maya feels, in that case, you can write the answer whatever is given in the text, right? Then after this, I told you comprehension passages will be there. Then grammar part will be there. Fill in the blanks is going to from preposition part. It will be there. Match the following, that is word meaning is there, right? So all these things are going to come in the exam. I hope now there will be no more doubts. Still you have a doubt, you can see all the videos. All the videos are there in that channel and already uploaded in LMS. You can just watch the video and see, right? I hope no more discussion is required. If required, you can tell me. I'll repeat all that. You can write in comment box. Okay, thank you.